Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with Gary Papa, Dave Roberts, and Jim Gardner.
Tuesday night, and the big story in Action News tonight is the big storm. It is now certifiably treacherous out there, as we have endured hours of sleet and freezing rain in some areas and significant snow in the far northern and western suburbs. This is a live picture of late rush hour traffic on the Schuylkill Expressway. Emergency crews have been treating this road all day with salt and chemicals, and the heavy traffic has also served to minimize the ice. Still, even the Schuylkill is slippery in spots, as is Route 611 in Abington Township, Montgomery County. We are live there as well. The rule of thumb seems to be the farther north and west you get from the city, the worse the conditions. And the word we have from Action News on the scene is that Old York Road in Abington Township is getting significantly worse as the minutes pass. The rush hour commute back home has certainly been a trying one for these motorists in and around the tri-state area. Dave Roberts is live outside, and Dave, obviously we thought we'd have more snow at this time, at least based on last night's forecast, but this is certainly no picnic.
No, definitely. It's going to be a nasty night, and possibly the worst of the storm is yet to come in terms of all of this sleet and freezing rain, Jim. Is going to change over to snow. As you said, in some sections, it's already doing that. Action radar shows the system. Here is the latest picture. You can see it just continues to build and just hangs on. It's kind of slow moving. It seems like we've been with this 2 or 3 days now. What is the mixture? We'll break it down, and once again, Action radar will show you the snow to the north, then that line. You can see that freezing line there of the sleet and freezing rain is getting smaller as the snow is pushing down from the north. Cold air is coming in. You can feel it getting colder. So the call from AccuWeather is tonight, ice then snow. The lows 20 to 24 degrees. The changeover in some areas is starting now. Generally throughout the area, we expect 9 to 11 p.m. for the changeover. Down at the shore points, probably not to the early morning hours. And the call from AccuWeather then, as we go for rush hour, is going to be windy and cold. Still may be some snow hanging around, but the wind chills are going to be near zero. And for the rest of the day tomorrow, it's just windy and colder with flurries hanging on. Look at that high of only 28 degrees. Northwesterly 15 to 35 miles per hour. Wind chills near zero. So tonight, the sleet and freezing rain is going to change over to snow. Real nasty night, Jim.
Thank you, David. One discouraging thing is this: even though the roads will get only worse from here on in, we have already seen some bad accidents. The drivers of a car and a Jeep were injured when their vehicles collided on Route 202 this morning in East Whiteland Township. The driver of the car lost control near 401, skidded across the median and into oncoming traffic. That's when the Jeep smashed into the car. Police would have airlifted both drivers, but the weather prohibited that. Both were rushed to Paoli Memorial Hospital. This was the scene early this afternoon in Bensalem Township, Bucks County. The driver of a tractor-trailer lost control on an icy on-ramp of I-95 from Route 413. The truck turned over into a ditch near the Neshaminy Creek. Fortunately, nobody was hurt. And what a mess it was this morning on I-95 in South Philadelphia. Slippery conditions northbound caused a 10-vehicle chain reaction accident near Bartram Avenue just after 7. The vehicles included a tractor-trailer and a delivery truck, a FedEx truck. Then the motorists gaping at the accident scene from the southbound side. 4 cars got involved in a chain reaction crash there. Fortunately, only 2 people were injured in all of this, and those injuries were minor. But the inconvenience to motorists was not. Police had to shut down the road for an hour and a half. The city of Philadelphia has declared a snow emergency, and that means no parking on the 130 miles of roads that constitute the emergency snow routes. And that means police and the tow trucks were out in force, clearing cars away so emergency vehicles could have a clear path. Motorists who ignored the snow emergency had to somehow get themselves down to the parking authorities' impoundment lot on Delaware Avenue. And there it took some cash and, in some cases, plenty of time to reclaim your car. This has been a trying evening rush hour for mass transit as well. Action News reporter Vernon Odom is live at the 69th Street Terminal with the latest on that situation. Vernon?
Jim, there have been a lot of big crowds here through 69th Street Terminal in Upper Darby tonight. A lot of people told me in the city and in the suburbs that they left work early tonight to get home to get a head start because of the weather. And in general, SEPTA has received pretty good performance grades so far. SEPTA has run fairly well today. Buses, trains, and trolleys pretty much on or close to schedule. But that's starting to change tonight as weather conditions deteriorate. I spoke with some commuters who bagged their cars today and took mass transit instead.
Normally I do commute, with the drive. We carpool together.
And today?
We had to take the L, had to take the bus and take the L because it was just too slick.
I just don't trust the roads. You never know when you're going to hit that ice patch. So figure play it safe and take the trolley.
It has been, going fast, and they've been just shooting out here, and I'm proud of them.
The Norristown high-speed line has 20-minute delays because of equipment problems. There are some other changes tonight, and some in the city, including Route 19 through Olney. There's an ice problem. In the suburbs, 109 in Delaware County is detoured because of a fire on Baltimore Pike. Two routes, 117 and 120, are bypassing Cheney University because the school is closed tonight. And Route 118 is not running to Delaware County Community College because it is closed tonight as well. And the flash buses are not running in Center City tonight either. Back live here in Upper Darby, Jim, where you can feel the temperature literally dropping by the minute. SEPTA is, of course, now gearing up for what should be a much tougher day tomorrow. Vernon Odo of Channel 6 Action News, reporting live from 69th Street Terminal in Upper Darby. Jim?
Thank you, Vernon. The situation at Philadelphia International Airport is not good, and it's getting worse all the time. Now, this is a live picture from Sky 6 as the airport does its best to cope with deteriorating conditions. Inside the terminals, hordes of passengers are scrambling to make alternative plans that after their flights have either been canceled or delayed. Many flights have been delayed and canceled because crews have had to de-ice the aircraft. In fact, 600 flights have been simply canceled, a full one-half of the schedule because of de-icing and the fact that planes haven't been able to take off from other airports on the East Coast or in the Midwest. Meanwhile, crews have been out on the runways all day trying to keep them clear and free of ice. Most suburban schools were closed today, but Philadelphia gave it the old college try, or I should say high school try, perhaps. Both public and parochial schools had kids report to class this morning, like here at Lamberton, but all students were sent back at noon. Now, the AccuWeather forecast suggests that there will be no school tomorrow, but that's just our point of view. A decision from school officials normally takes place early in the morning, and so we will wait for that. Certainly, South Jersey has not escaped the impact of the storm, and it will only get worse from here on in. New Jersey correspondent Kathy Gandolfo is live on Route 70 at Haddonfield Road in Cherry Hill. Kathy, what's the situation there?
Well, Jim, I will tell you that the rush hour seems to have peaked early here on Route 70, and I think this is pretty much the situation on most of the major roads in South Jersey. The roadway is sleet covered, and I will tell you that over the last couple of hours, it has really started to come down and conditions are deteriorating. But also, this has been a headache all day for just about everyone. There wasn't much snow to plow, but freezing rain has made for some slippery sidewalks and parking lots, so there is plenty of salting and scraping underway. Ray DeSantis makes his wintertime living in snow removal, but even he doesn't like the ice.
We put down calcium and rock salt. It's good, but it's too dangerous. It's a lot of wear and tear on the equipment, and it's dangerous for my guys, even in driving, getting from one place to another.
Today's storm, just 6 days before Christmas, is bad news for many retailers.
We haven't seen half the business that we usually get on a busy day. The weather's really putting a damper on things, and hopefully the weather will ease back. We won't get the snow that it's calling for, and things will pick up here.
Of course, there were some shoppers who were not scared away by the foul weather. In fact, with plenty of parking spaces available, they took advantage of it.
I have to get my wife something, so that's why I'm here.
Was it crowded?
No, it's not too bad. Weather's not too good for it. That's probably why.
I'm trying to get the last minute things done.
So even the bad weather wasn't going to keep you away today?
Never that. Never that.
During this morning's rush hour, some roads got very slick, especially at overpasses and ramps. This weather-related accident involved 3 cars on Route 70 where it goes over 295. For most motorists, though, it was just a slow, messy morning.
It wasn't bad at first, but now that the sleet's coming down, it's getting pretty bad.
I think like 2 winters ago, it reminds me of that a lot, especially this morning. I think it's going to be a long winter, I think.
Unfortunately, I think he might be right, and it isn't even winter yet. Reporting live on the action cam from Route 70 in Cherry Hill, I'm Kathy Gandolfo.
Thank you, Kathy. Now, this is a live picture of the train station in Trenton, where commuters have been arriving home For several hours, many state workers were allowed to leave early on a staggered schedule. Actually, Trenton and the rest of central New Jersey have been hit harder than many other parts of our area, and driving has been a precarious mission at best in and around the New Jersey state capital. And while Delaware is expected to get less accumulation than some areas to the north and west, people are still being forced to cope with very difficult situations. They were scraping and going slow today in northern Delaware, and here too, it is going to get worse before it gets better. That is our winter storm coverage.
Watching the Weather Channel for accurate
all the way back, about 36 hours ago, some pretty heavy snow fell in Texas, down around Perryton, Texas, and far northern Texas. Reports of 8 inches of snow. Wichita, Kansas had about 4 to 5. St. Louis picked up about 5 inches, and that fell in about a 7-hour period from near daybreak this morning into the early afternoon. Indianapolis and Cleveland and Bradford and Pittsburgh really getting pounded over the last few hours. Indianapolis, things have now abated, but the damage has been done. You're at the top of the list for the bigger cities. 8 inches of snow. Cleveland at 7, probably a coverage showing the snow in Cincinnati up into the Miami Valley, up near Dayton, Ohio. Some heavy snow from Pittsburgh over to Philadelphia. Some freezing rain and sleet mixed in as well. And look around New York City. This is pretty much all snow now, all the way from Montauk to the city, back on over to the Watchung Reservation in New Jersey, out through the Water Gap, Allentown area. This is all heavy snow. Most areas snowing at the rate of 1 inch per hour. And once again, travel strongly discouraged tonight. On the coast, increasing winds. We have coastal flood warnings out. There are gale warnings up for northeast winds, which could be as high as 40 to 45 miles per hour. And this is where your heavy snow is, right there, wouldn't you know it, right where the Parkway and the Turnpike meet, down around Edison and Island. That is very heavy snowfall. This is all working northeast. We don't see a break much before about midnight as the heavy snow continues pulling northeastward.